technology shows us a false dawn. So if I, for example, get an air conditioner, in India we have these star ratings on ACs. And if you have a higher star rating, it means that the power consumption is relatively lower. Right? And India is a relatively warm place. And as people get prosperous, one of the first things that they want in their homes is more air conditioners. Initially, people start with having air conditioner in one of the rooms, and then they want air conditioners in all 2 rooms, 3 rooms, and if they have 5 rooms. So let's say we have a young one in the family who has been sensitized in the school or in the college about the enormity of this problem of climate. So he raises his hands up and he says, no, nothing doing, we cannot have so many ACs and it's not good for the climate. The elder sister comes in and says, look, technology has brought in this new AC with a 5-star rating and it consumes far lesser power. Now, that brings in a false sense of complacency. We used to have these very antiquated cars that we kind of inherited from the British, ambassador cars. And they used to be really great instruments of pollution of all kinds, including noise pollution. So they were phased away. Now you'd hardly see any of them on Indian roads. Now we have really sleek modern cars. In fact, we share a lot of them with the Americans, with the Europeans, and we have the same models running here. But what has happened? What has happened is that the numbers have increased so very exponentially that the total emission count is nowhere close to what we used to have in the 70s or 80s. So in spite of better and greener and more efficient technologies on the net, we stand very poorly compared to where we did even 4 decades back. So from a macro perspective, is betterment in technology really helping, or is it enabling the consumer of the technology to consume more and more with impunity? And with the false assurance that, you see, I now have a moral license as well. I'm not a climate offender anymore because the technology that I'm consuming is so very green. No, I have a Tesla now rather than a Suzuki or a Hyundai. The thing is a Tesla really carbon neutral?
Well, I agree with you, and I think we're getting back to that fundamental question of kind of too many people consuming too many things. But I would say that there is a shift, right? That, I mean, it's not just green technology, it's low carbon technology. And again, how do we extend the window? How do we buy time? We have to move to a 100% renewable energy economy globally, right? And stop burning fossil fuels. That's one thing we have to do. And the other thing we have to do is figure out how to develop regenerative agriculture techniques that trap carbon in the soil and that also raise the income and livelihoods of farmers, small farmers in particular. So those 2 technology changes, a shift to 100% renewable energy, and that means battery powered everything, and regenerative agriculture that pulls carbon out of the atmosphere and increases the well-being of farmers. Those are the 2 things that buy us the time. Now, it is true that there's so much greenwashing, though, and what we have to keep our eye on is, okay, I have all these new technologies, but is my carbon footprint going up or down? That's, as an individual, as a nation, as a company, that's the measure, and we can't be distracted by these shiny new toys that claim to be green or whatever when they really are just enabling more consumption, more pollution. So I think we can make progress there. But then again, I agree with you that ultimately the problem lies in us understanding our relationship with each other and with the earth.